Say what's on your mind. Speak loud from within. Make us sing along with the power of the pen. Say what's on your mind. Speak loud from within. Make us sing along.
What's going on, man?
Oh man, not a whole lot. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Listen, everybody, my guest is in the building. Y'all know how we do. I want the hand clap emojis. Let's celebrate my guest in the name and fashion of Mr. Pastor Warryn Campbell.
Hey.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Somebody said my hero is on. That's what I'm talking about.
I'm glad
Yo,
to be here,
man, listen. I always start my show off by this because this is really important, especially in this day and age. So my first question to you is, with all due respect, Pastor and Warryn Campbell, how are you, man?
You know what, man? I'm good. I'm good. I can't complain about anything. I just, it's that season that I love, and my family's getting together. My oldest daughter's on her way home. She'll be here tomorrow from college. I'm feeling that holiday spirit. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up,
Yeah.
man. So it's like that family time. First of all, your family is magnanimous, right? Like you have
Huge.
so many people in your
Huge,
family.
yeah.
Is that really is it really a big tradition to have that quality time or the holidays to really come together like that?
Absolutely. Since can remember, my family for the last almost 40 years, we do family breakfast, Christmas breakfast we used to be at my auntie's house for like
Nice.
25 years. And I have 63 first cousins just on my mother's side. So my mother's the youngest of 10.
What?
So it's a lot of us. And so we'd all go to my auntie's house. My auntie and my uncle, they're older now, so they're like, y'all can have it. They've been married over 60 years. So
the Campbells is winning every fight. the Campbell,
yeah,
they winning every fight.
But this is the Grays. This is my mother's side. The Campbells is my father's side.
Nice.
Which
nice.
They ain't nothing to play with either. But like the Gray side,
Listen,
we not. Yeah, we ain't nothing to play with.
I love it. We love big family. We love family, and we love family time, man.
Yes, sir.
So listen, man, Warryn, man. First of all, okay, I'm trying not to fan out. I always do this with my guests. I want to say thank you so much for accepting this invitation and coming on today. The Power to Pen, this platform, man, is made for other creatives such as yourself, people that are aspiring, people that are doing the thing like yourself. But it's almost like when you talk to your children, you could tell them 100 times one thing, but if they hear it from somebody else, then they get it. Right. And so I wanted this platform to be where people can hear from different people and get different perspectives about what everybody is really trying to do, so they understand that, listen, some of the things you're experiencing may not be unfamiliar. That might be a part of the process, right?
Yeah.
And then some of the things, you might hear something for the first time, but it's just to make you aware of all of the parts of this life as a creative. So I have a fun fact. And I don't know if you remember this. I have to talk about this because talk about fanning out. So my first time meeting you, it was like 2010. And I had, we was at the ASCAP Awards, and I received an award for writing Sold Out. And I come off the stage, and you're sitting there, the Marys are sitting there, a couple of the table sitting there, and I'm walking off and I'm going, oh God, okay, Warryn Campbell is right there. Do I just walk past and don't say something, or do I say something? And I think I said something like, yo, what's up, Warryn? How you doing, man? Yo, I really love your work, and I would love to work with you. And then I walked off, and like you shook my hand and was like, cool. And I walked off and I was like, oh my God, like, did I just do that? So I'm bringing that up because, like, what is the right thing to do? Like, and talk about you as a person. Was I crazy for doing that? Or are you really cool? Like, is that cool?
Nah, I mean, listen, we are at those events, to come and receive our rewards. And if you're not receiving an award, That's number one. Number two, if you're not receiving an award, you're there to celebrate people that are receiving an award. But three, most of the times we go to those events to network and meet people. And a lot of people do not take advantage of that, you know, and they're shy, or, you know, in LA, you know, it's weird. The culture of Los Angeles is that, and it's not necessarily people that are from LA, it's people that come from other places. They tend to think that they're stars themselves. So I'm not talking about you. You come to me, but you know, I'd never get anywhere if I didn't meet people. Thank God that my talent, you know, back in the day drew people to me, because I was not talkative. You know, it's funny, and God is, God has a big sense of humor, because I was not talkative. Like, I could sit in a room working with Tupac, DJ Quick, or anybody else, and all kind of stuff be going on. They wouldn't even know I was there, because I'd be in the corner, quiet. Never. Everybody that knows me in this music business, is weirded out by the fact that I'm a pastor, because like, you never even talked. I didn't say anything. So, you know, as I grew older, because I was very young when I started, as I grew older, I started learning how to speak up and introduce myself to people. And say, hey man, you know, now it's easier, because I know that a lot of times, not all the time, but a lot of times, I'm in a situation where people might know me. So it makes it easy for me to say hi. I was just at the Color Purple premiere, and you got it on.
I didn't make the premiere, but I'm rocking it anyway. I don't care.
Yes sir, yes sir. No, it was great. And you know, as a rule, when men see each other in the bathroom, we don't speak.
Right.
Do not talk to me in that bathroom. As a matter of fact, I go in the bathroom and I see it's two people I see. One I know very well, one I don't know at all. And one was my attorney. And we nod, what up? We do not talk.
No, we don't talk.
The other one was the comedian Lil Rel.
Oh my God.
And so I don't know him. And so we're just in the bathroom. We get out there, and then when we got outside the bathroom,
right on,
I say, yo, Lil Rel, I speak.
Right.
He says,
hold on one second. We lost sound. Okay, there we go. We lost sound. There you go.
Somebody was trying to call me. Sorry, Mom. I can't talk right now.
He'll be right there, Mom.
So Lil Rel comes out the bathroom, and I'm like, hey, man, what's up? I'm Warryn. He says, man, I know who you are. I know you are. I've been to your church. You know, I'm like, okay, cool. So we talk, and then his girl comes out, and she knows me. And then she says, oh, your wife and your sister's in the bathroom. We having this whole conversation. And I said, y'all in there talking? I can hear. She said, yeah, they're in there talking. We in there talking. I said, see, man, we don't talk in the bathroom.
Nah.
And then my lawyer comes out. I said, you see him right there? He said, man, I see him in the bathroom. So I said, man, this is my lawyer. And we don't talk in the bathroom. We talk all the time.
I'm for it. Yo, Warryn.
So you just get up and talk, man. You can do that anytime.
Y'all heard that, right? So just come, be humble when you show up. Be humble and do not approach this man in the bathroom, please, y'all. Whatever you do. Yo, bro, man, check this out. Like, I'm looking at your work. I'm not gonna do this interview like the typical interview. I don't need to hear about when you was 4 years old. Like, if anybody want all of that, they can go Google all of that, right? I want to talk about some other things. I want to talk about the fact that you have been able to work with the best of the best. Like, the roster of people, just to name a few, y'all. Just to name a few. Mary, of course, right? Mary, Music Soul Child, Yolanda Adams, Missy Elliott, Kelly Price, Blackstreet, Jamie Foxx, Luther Vandross, Brandy, and Kanye West. That's just to name a few. That's just to name a few. That artist roster is so diverse, right? But and that's just, I mean, I know you've done other stuff. You've even done soundtracks and things like that, right? Was this a dream come true for you, or was this determination for success?
Both. I've always, my entire Black career, I've always wanted to be a producer. You know, before I even knew what a producer really was. I mean, always been musical, so I played
Yeah.
in church and all that kind of stuff. But I had
Yeah.
an interest in making beats at a very, like, 10 years old. We had a station out here called 1580 K Day, right?
Okay.
Played all hip hop. It was an AM station. You had to go all the way to the right of the dial. And what I would do is I would go to school. Right before I go to school, I pop in my cassette
Woo! Yo!
and I would press record on my boombox, right?
Yo, you're like
When
my
I got
best friend right
home,
now. Keep going.
when I got home, I would listen to it and try to recreate everything that I was listening to. By
Yeah.
the time I was 12, I had, my father and mother really invested in me. By the time I was 12, I had a full little studio in my bedroom, you know what I'm saying, that I shared with my little sister, And so I had a sign on my door that said Cinnamon Productions. I always wanted to do this. And so it was a dream, but it was also, hard work and determination. Now, but when I got in the music business, the gatekeepers, it was strong. You had to know somebody. You could not just get in. Now the gates are burned, the fire, the walls are down. Anybody can get in. And I was talking to somebody the other day, and we were saying that, we don't know if that's necessarily a good thing, because the quality hasn't gone up
Mm.
since the gatekeepers or the gates have been weakened.
Yeah.
When the gates when it was hard to get in, the quality of music was a lot better.
That's an interesting point, man.
It was hard to get in, man. It was hard to get in. And when I got in, I didn't just start making hits right away. I got in with Death Row Records. I was a musician. I couldn't make beats yet. They wouldn't allow me to do that. I was playing on people's records that I knew that I could, I can probably produce better than that person. But I had to wait my time. I'm 17. I'm 18. So when I got my shot, I got a publishing deal, and I didn't just start making hits then. It took 2 years for me to get one placement.
Y'all hear this, right?
2 years.
I
signed in '90. I signed to EMI Publishing, a guy by the name of Big John Platt, who is now the CEO and chairman of Sony Music Publishing. But at that time, he had just got his job, and he signed maybe one other person before me. He signed Jay-Z when Jay-Z had Reasonable Doubt, and then he signed me. I had no placements. He just heard a record that I wrote while I was on tour with Brandy, playing keys behind her on the bus. I wrote this song. Me and my buddy, Grimico Collins, wrote this song. I played the song for Big John. He said, I love the song. What are you going to do with it? Now, mind you, this is when Brandy is like hot as fish grease. She's hot, right? So I said, I think I'm going to get Brandy on it. He looks at me like I got 3 heads. Like, okay, how you going to do that? And I came back to him 2 weeks later with Brandy on the song. Brandy came to my house, got in my garage, sung the song for me and everything. He didn't realize how tight we were, And that's how I got that publishing deal.
Okay. People already was hitting me up when they saw that I was having you on this platform, and they're already waiting for the information. Was that song by chance He Is?
No.
That wasn't
we
even
long
He
ways
Is?
off. It wasn't He Is. It was a song called I Don't Want to Fall in Love that nobody's ever heard. And it's still, to this day, it's an amazing record. And so I brought that record to Big John. He was like, oh, this is great. He signs me. That's 96. I don't get my first placement until 1998. And that's
I
writing songs every day.
Keep going. That's crazy.
I'm writing every day. I'm writing every day. He's sending records out, sending that back. He was sending out cassettes, DAT tapes, CDs, whatever. This was actually before you had burnable CDs, actually. So it was really just cassette tapes. He's sending us to different labels, and everybody's like, kind of passing on it. And so finally he says, let's just go to New York. We fly to New York in the dead of winter, right? And we're going to every record label. I mean, and everybody's like, it's okay, but, everybody just saying no. And we it's hawk out there. And I mean, I remember one time me and Big John are walking down the street. We made a left turn on one of them streets, and that wind hit us. Pow! I was like, oh my God. So I mean, it was literally, it was cold, man. And
coming from California, I know y'all felt crazy.
And still we got no's. But I understand that I can have 1,000 no's. All I need is one yes. So I'm gonna just keep going. Finally, we get back to LA, and it's another year goes by, and I have no placements, and I'm frustrated. He says, you know what? I got a good relationship with Jermaine Dupri. Now I've been working with him, doing stuff with him. We're gonna fly to Atlanta, and he drives me to Jermaine Dupri's house.
Let's go.
Playing some music. Jermaine Dupri is the first person to ever give me money to produce, give me money or take one of my songs to produce a record. He bought 3 songs from me, one for an artist he had named Trina Broussard, and then Trina, and then another one he bought for Escape for the Traces of My Lipstick album. And that's how I got on.
Big up Trina. Yo, that's my sis. Yo, bro, first of all, you just touched on so much. I hope you all are listening that are in the comments. It's so important that, like, somebody saw something of value in your work and they said, you know what, I'm going to invest time in you, right? They didn't just invest time, they invest money to take you from one location to another location because they believed in you that much, right? You talk about receiving no's. Right now, people, as much talent as there is that's out there, and as much talent as we are being overwhelmed with, people are thinking that it's easy to get on, and it's still not easy. You're still going to get no's. You're still going to get rejection, but you got to press past that. Yeah. You got to press past that. I thank God for every person that believed in Warryn Campbell. I thank God for every person that outside of all the no's, I thank God for everybody that told you yes, man, because your work has been, like, it's been a great contribution to the music industry. Wow. Like amazing, man. You've done great work, Warryn. Like, if nobody ever tells you, you that dude. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate
I want you to know that.
I really do. I appreciate it, man. I mean, you know, and quietly, you know, it's not about being prideful or having a giant ego, but you got to have confidence. You have to know, like, I've walked in certain rooms and quietly, I know within myself, without being loud about it, like, man, I'm supposed to be here. Even I don't have the records you have. I don't have the placements. I see everybody with gold watches and Rolexes and diamond crosses and everybody shining with Bentleys and stuff. And I'm driving my little, a Ford Explorer at the time, and I'm just like doing my thing. But I'm like, I know. I listen to that music. This guy that just has 5 #1 hits, I listen to his music and I know it within myself. I'm better than that. I'm not gonna put it out there, but I'm gonna keep grinding it till I get to sometimes it's just a matter of time.
It's a matter of time. Yeah. Man, you are blessing me on this day. Dude, man. Talk to me about this. You have contributed so much to the music industry with all the people you produced for and written for, right? And now you've taken it a step further. So now you have your own label. You have your own group called My Block. Can you talk to us about the people that are on your roster and why it's so important for this roster to be as diverse as it is?
Well, I mean, one, you have to know what My Block is. It is a content house that we create, musical content, concerts, touring, film and television, like our reality shows with the Campbells. We're doing all that stuff. But the basis of it is to have a place where creators are safe. The reason why I called it My Block, because I grew up in Los Angeles, California, born and raised in South Central, and a very, very, kind of hard neighborhood. Yeah. Drug infested, gang infested, during the gang culture, the height of it. When you really couldn't walk down the street and without fearing for your life. I mean, I got shot at 11 years old while I'm on roller skates just going to the store. So, it was like that. And so, but my parents on where I lived, I mean, my parents were always praying. Reverend and Mrs. Hardy, about 5 doors down from me, were always praying. There was a couple across the street. We would be playing football in the street and we could hear them praying. They'd be having prayer service in their house. You can hear them calling, Jesus, Jesus. Oh, no. You can hear them in there, right? Community. So the street in front of me, I'm talking about murders, drive-by shootings. The street behind me, do you remember the Bat-Around?
I remember hearing about it. I don't know much about it, but I remember hearing about it.
Well, if you ever watched the NWA movie,
Okay.
The opening sequence of that movie is Eazy-E in a house, and it gets dozed by a tank. In LA, they called it the Batarang, and they would take a tank with this big steel pole on it, and they would doze down a house, a crack house. And
Wow.
the street behind me, the Batarang had been over there 3-4 times, you know. And so you got gang infestation, you know, drugs in front of me on this side, Batarang behind me on this side, but nothing
Yeah.
ever on my block. Nothing ever happened on my block.
Woo!
Nobody got killed on my block. Nobody got shot on my block. It was just the prayers of the righteous it was crazy, you know, like we were just insulated from that stuff
A
for
safe
years.
place. Woo!
It was a safe place. So I created this what I call a safe place, my block. If you
Yeah,
could just make it
man.
here, I know you done been to 5 of the labels and then raked you through the coals. This label done screwed you over, but if you could just make it to my block, we got you.
Y'all hear this? Woo! That's
Yeah.
what I'm talking about, man. And talk about some of the artists. I know you have the Marys. You got the
Yeah.
Walls group. You
Mary,
got Lena.
the Walls Group, Lena Bird Miles. We've done projects on our label with Music Soul Child. He was signed to my block. Kelly Price was signed to my block. We have MC Light, and we just signed a young boy out of Chicago. I can't call him boy. He's 20 years old, named Carson Barnes. This kid is just out of control. And
Is that the dude that's like Quartet?
he kind of
He can go there.
He can go there, yeah. He can definitely go there.
I heard some of his stuff, man.
And then we have Jason Champion, formerly of Men at Large back in the day.
Yeah.
You know, we have a great roster. Then my youngest
Yes, you
sister,
do.
Joy Star, she's killing it. And another
Her
young
pin
lady
game is ridiculous. Keep going.
she's crazy. And another young lady named Tony Estes, Tony is the lady that wrote Whitney Houston's "It's Not Right, But It's Okay."
Let's go.
And yeah, we actually put out a My Block compilation.
Squad goals. Keep going.
That I took down, but I'm gonna put it back up at the top of the year.
Yes, you have to.
Yeah, and it'll have all those artists are on the label.
That's what I'm talking about, man.
Yeah.
So okay, so having all of those artists, right? Is it complex at times? And if it is complex, does that come with the process? You know, like, is that something that makes you feel like, this is, I don't know what I took on, or do you realize that's just how it goes?
It is complex and it is expensive, and you have to know, you have to know what the end game is. You have to have a goal, and you know, it's just like anything else. I call it the My Block family on the inside. You know, internally we call it the family. So we do shows together. You know,
yeah.
we did the Kennedy Center together last year or earlier this year. We'll be back at the Kennedy Center on February 17th. You know, I bring my family together, and you know, and the thing is, there is, like, you know, friendly competition, but everybody loves each other.
Yeah.
You know, and it pushes, and we share the platform. You know,
yeah.
If you know about Lena Bird Miles, it's because I put her on stage with Mary Mary.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I put we did a show at the Carowinds amusement park in South Carolina. I brought Jason Champion. I brought Lena Bird Miles, but it's a Mary Mary show.
Yo, so let me ask you this. What I love about your work and your music is you were writing for 702. You were writing for Kelly Price. You were writing for some artists that was back in the day, right? Mm-hmm. But here you are still creating music today that's relevant, that is great on the ear, like stuff that people want to hear. Man, you producing songs for Kanye West? Like, what's really going on? How important is it for producers not to get stuck in, you know, well, that's my sound, or, you know, that's my niche. So I'm, you know, if they want me, they got to take that sound. How important is it for you to be flexible or to be creative enough that you want stuff that's relevant?
I think you have to be a person that understands customer service. You know, and customer service means the customer is always right. And you have to understand the market that you are servicing. If you're not a brand like Coca-Cola, who does not have to change because you're so massive, people come to you for that one thing and it's universal. But if you are a smaller company that creates multiple items, then you have to be like Nike. You know what I'm saying? Nike's not Coca-Cola. Nike's brand that doesn't change is the logo. But the products themselves, like Warryn Campbell, my name's not going
Fits
to
the
change.
customer. Yo, come on, man. I love this.
Yeah, so you know they're gonna carry whatever the new sneaker is. I still got the old sneaker too. I got the
Still got the
classics.
old sneaker.
But if
It's
you
a
want the new
classic,
joint,
too. It's a classic.
I'm gonna give you the classic. But if you want a new joint, I can give you that too because you know I have to be flexible. So you know, in order to do that, you have to be up on trends. The way producers get kind of, I think, stuck is when new technology comes out. They're intimidated by it. They put on the ego says, no, I'm not doing it. Ain't my way. Really, what they're saying is, I don't understand this, and I don't. I'm intimidated by. I remember when, you know, we went from 2-inch tape, and people were using digital. They were using 8X. I was using 8X. I had a 2-inch machine that I had used for years, and then I started using 8X, and then they went quickly, really quickly, within 2-3 years, from 8X to Pro Tools all of a sudden.
Right.
I was completely intimidated by Pro Tools. I might be the last producer to get Pro Tools. I was hiring my engineer. He would bring his Pro Tools rig. So for the first Mary Mary album, that was all on ADATs and 2-inch tape. The second Mary Mary album was all done on 2-inch tape, ADATs, and a lot of Pro Tools. But I would have my engineer come and bring his own rig. I didn't get my own Pro Tools rig till probably 2007, 2008.
That's
when
crazy.
Everybody had it. And so what I quickly learned was like, you know what, I need to jump on this. Now,
Yeah.
still to this day, I don't really use Pro Tools. My engineer does. But the other things like
I'm Logic all day, but you just taught me something. You just made me think about something. I'm Logic all day, but go ahead.
I use Logic, but then when Ableton Live came out, and everybody started talking about Ableton, I was like, you know what, let me try this. It was so hard to learn, but I did it, and I'm like, and I feel that I've grasped something. That I got Fruity Loops, and let me find out what everybody else is using, Reaper, and all these different programs. I'm like, okay, it's the same language, but now things sound differently, and I get the mind of how younger producers have to think and how they create.
I'm
so I can
loving
incorporate that into what I'm doing. Now I'm like, Ableton is the best thing ever. I mean, I love Logic, but Ableton, man. So you know, you learn all those things, but I can still fire up my 2-inch machine anytime I get ready. So you keep all those things. Yeah.
Yo, so you and I, when we talked about having you on the show, I mentioned to you that Gerald Haywood, that's my brother-in-law. Yeah. Big up to G.
I just saw he was just here the other day. I saw him.
He told me he was going to California. I was like, I want to go. I want to go. But let me tell you something. Gerald, man, Gerald invested so much in me. So when I first got married, this was back in 2001. When I first got married, I got married in 2002. I used to be in the studio a lot, right? And you know, newly married and being in the studio till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, yeah, that's not such a great thing, right? Yeah. And so, you know, I didn't know what to do. Gerald went and bought me something called Pandora. It was, I think, Pandora's box. It was like a little small portable 4-track that had 24 virtual tracks. And you could take this little box and you could record demos and music and vocals and everything.
Wow.
Yo, when I tell you, I learned that little machine and I was sending demos to people with songs and they thought I went in the studio and recorded my stuff.
Wow.
But it was like the best investment that anybody had ever made in me.
Wow.
And it went from there to me going to school, you know, taking what I learned from school and then eventually learning how to use studio equipment. Got me a laptop and I started learning Logic, right?
Yeah.
But it's to your story, is to piggyback what you're saying. When the technology advances, you can't be intimidated by it, especially when you have all of these young cats out here using that stuff and you're trying to, whether you feel like you're competitive or not, you are competing with a sound and with a generation that's using certain things and sounds and there's a word I'm thinking of, I can't think of right now, but you're competing with that. You have to advance with the technology,
You
right?
have to. You
So
have to.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you telling that to the audience, and I pray that they are listening and that they are willing to not be intimidated, but take on that challenge
Don't be
and learn it.
intimidated. If you
You know,
learn one thing, you can learn another.
you can learn another. You
Yeah.
can learn
Because
another.
here's the thing. No matter how old you get, if you are a learner, you can always have a place and have relevance in any industry. It's ABL. That's what I say. ABL. Always be learning. Because the moment that you realize, or the moment you figure out that, like, okay, I got it all, or you think you got it all together, and like, I don't need to learn anything else, that's the day you die.
That's the day you die.
That's it for you. When you are like, I know everything, and you feel like you can't learn anymore, it's over for you. There's always something to learn. You got to look at a guy like Quincy Jones, who was, I saw a video of him learning at the time the Fairlight from Herbie Hancock. It was like the newest sampling system. He was figuring out how to work that. He was in his 50s. You know what I'm saying? He didn't do Thriller till he was in his 50s. He started Vibe magazine in his 60s. You know, this guy just kept going because he's
Kept going.
Going and growing and learning. Like, as long as you can learn, you can burn.
Come on, Pastor. Yo, Warryn. Okay, so give it to us straight, bro. You in the studio with what everybody calls the vocal Bible. You know, this woman is so well respected for her vocal agility and her vocal ability, and the songs that she has contributed to music. You're in the studio with Brandy.
Yeah.
And you guys are working on He Is.
Yeah.
Like, how did that come to be, man? Because, you know, I ain't even gonna front. Like, I talked about it on the show. We talk about everything when it comes to lyrics, right? On this platform, right? And that song, He Is, I'm just gonna say it. You know, you talked about how guys are not supposed to talk to each other in the bathroom, right? This song right here, I don't care who on this platform right now, if you say you don't know the words to this song, brothers, you lying, and the truth ain't in you. This song ain't for the brothers.
Man.
This song is for the women. This song is for the women, talking about He Is. But I bet y'all know the lyrics. Yo, you wrote a classic Brandy song, man. Like, what was that like creating that?
You know, at the time, she's coming off of the Never Say Never album.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was Never Say Never. And I think, let me see. Yeah, it was Never Say Never. So what had happened was, I'm on tour with her, and we had just finished up the tour from her first album. I don't remember the name of that album. Maybe it was just Brandy. With I Want to Be Down on it and all that stuff. In the meantime, on that tour, I had got my publishing deal, 96. We were on tour. And I wanted to be on this next album, Never Say Never, so bad. I'm writing songs for her. The song that she came and recorded in my garage, we did that one. We did a couple other ones. And then the record company hired Rodney Jerkins to come in. And Rodney came, he came in so strong. Like,
My God.
What it did for me was it made me understand, like, yeah, I'm good, but I'm not good enough yet. Rodney came and embodied that whole thing. Like, and so what happened was, while we're in rehearsal, and we're playing all the Never Say Never stuff, and I'm listening to it, and I realized, you know, towards the end of the album, there's a couple things on there where I said to myself, man, I could have made this album. Like, I could have been, the songs that I did was at least good as this one, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm playing this stuff, and I'm realizing I'm going on a tour with an artist on a project that I have no equity in. So I quit. Brandy wasn't at rehearsal that day. I told the MD, I said, who was a good friend of mine, Cornelius Mims, crazy, amazing, creative bass player. I said, man, I can't do this. I can't do it. He's like, man, what's going on? I said, man, I don't feel good being here knowing I have no songs on this album. And my heart is for writing. And, you know, so I get home And I never forget, Brandy was driving a silver G-Wagon at the time. And I was in my parents' house. Is a long driveway going up, and I was sitting outside on the steps, and I seen this like racing up the. She jumps out. She's like, "Yo, what happened? I heard you quit." I was like, I'm sitting at the top of the steps and looking down. I said, "Brandy, I'm a songwriter now." Now, mind you, I have not written any songs for anybody yet. Not really. But I felt it in my gut.
Yeah.
I can't be here. And so she said, "All right, that's all right. By the next album, you're gonna be on this next album." So when it came time for the recording process, she made sure that the record label paid, got the studio, and the first 2 weeks she worked was with me. We did a lot of songs. He is the one that stuck. Me and my writing partner Harold. I had the track, and Harold came up with this whole concept of He Is and all that stuff. And I mean, and she loved it. She sung it. We did like 3-4 versions of it. There's a version of it with live strings on it that nobody's heard, that Benjamin Wright did.
Stop playing with us.
Did all of the Michael Jackson stuff. Yeah.
Stop playing with us.
Yeah, it's that. There's several versions of that song. It's but it made it.
Yo, you just said something that made me think of something else. Because as a writer and as a creative as well, I have so many songs that have not seen the light of day, right?
Yeah.
Your level of songs that have not seen the light of day is a little bit different.
Oh,
because you got songs with actual artists
yeah,
that probably have never been
oh
released.
yeah.
Right?
I'm talking lots of songs with artists like from Yolanda Adams, Fred Hammond, Missy Elliott, Tupac, DJ Quick, Snoop Dogg, Kanye, Mos Def. Who else? It's a lot. It's so many. I mean, and let's not even talk about the probably 60+ records that you will never hear from Mary Mary. It's just
You are messing with us right now. You are messing with my emotions.
Yeah, it's a vault. Look, it's when it comes to my artist, and even the Kelly Price album we did, I think we put 12 songs on that album. We recorded 81 songs on that album, for that album, that you probably never hear. I mean, I don't know, unless she decides she owns them. So if she decides to do something with them or release them, I mean, when I say they're amazing, they're amazing. I believe that recording artists should always be recording. They go on tour, they do an album, go on tour, and start doing all kind of stuff, and just forget that recording songs and writing songs is a muscle. And you let that muscle atrophy when you go on the road. Muscle dies, it atrophies, it just gets weak. And so my thing is, go on the road, but when you come back and have a break, we're gonna record again. It's the reason why after Tupac's death, he had all them songs. He recorded 3 songs every day. Every day. I don't care where he was, what he was doing, he's gonna stop and cut 3 joints that day at some point. That's all.
Warryn, let me ask you this. Man, you are bringing up so many points that I didn't have in my questions, but when you talk about the ability to write and create, and how that's something that you should always be doing, right? Sometimes life will throw some things at you that will make your creative side not feel so creative, right?
Yeah.
I've dealt with grief recently like I've never dealt with before when I lost my mom. And at the time, creating was the last thing that I wanted to do, right?
Yeah.
But being who God made me, I found myself writing.
Yeah.
I found myself creating. And I've heard people talk about this. At one point, I even subscribed to it because I thought it was really a thing when they talk about writer's block, where you can't think of anything to create, you can't think of something to write. And I don't know if that is as valid as it is that, it may not be writer's block. you might just be at a depletion of content. Maybe you haven't lived life, and maybe you haven't gone through something to give you the content that you need. Because if you live a little bit, you'll have something to write about, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I
But
have my own thoughts and concepts about the theory of writer's
have you ever
block.
had a downtime?
No, I don't believe in writer's block. I'll tell you why. I believe that every creative makes their music in their head, and it sounds amazing in their head. And the trick is getting that sound in your head to come out of those speakers.
You're
right?
not lying.
And so even with songwriting, what you're doing is, it's not that you don't have things to write about, it's that what you're writing you don't like. It's not good. And we all go through times when we have songs that we write that's not a good song. It's not that you have writer's block, it's that you have a quality issue at the time. So what you have to do is, sometimes it's like scraping out the bottom of the pot, to get rid of the trash, to clean it out. It's in there, you got to get it out.
Right.
You have to finish that terrible song.
Right.
And Big John used to say, Big John used to call it the whack juice. I mean, you got to get the whack juice out to make room for the good songs. So
get that terrible song out.
Get it out, and let it go through, and then make room for what's next. Because what we're doing is, while we're writing, we're saying we're blocked, but what we're doing is we're editing in our head.
Come on, bro.
We're editing. Oh, that ain't good. Oh, no, that ain't good. Throw the paper away. Nope, that's not good. So you do have ideas. You're just not good enough. You're like, I don't like that. That's what you're doing. I have writer's block because this is not good. No, it's not writer's block. Listen, there's a movie. Everybody, every creative, every writer should see this movie. It was called Finding Forrester with Sean Connery.
I think I remember that. You about to make me watch it though.
he plays a writer, a well-established old guy who's like a hermit and who doesn't really write anymore, but he's like, Picasso or something, right? There's a young boy, black kid who finds him, and he's getting ready to learn how to write from him. So he says, okay, let's write. He's old school with the typewriter. He says, okay, here's a typewriter for you, here's a typewriter for me. And the kid, he says, okay, let's write. The kid looks at his typewriter and starts thinking. The old man just starts typing. He's typing. And the young boy looks at him and goes like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm writing. He was like, how do you know what to write? He says, you're not, listen, you write what you think and you edit later. Right now, edit later. And that's what we got to do. We just got to, write. I write what I feel. I play how I feel it. It might come out great. It might come out something stupid. And I'll edit it later. But I'm going to get it out first.
Every idea. Get out every idea.
Get it out.
Yo, this is so good, man. This is so good, man. Oh, my goodness. There's something that I do on every show that my guests, they already know what's about to go down. I like to give people their flowers while they're with us. We just celebrated the loss of our brother, Aaron, a great musician who contributed so much. And it was very hard for a lot of us. And some of us are still having days, But I love the fact that Aaron was someone that knew we loved him while we had him, right? I want to do that for you right now, bro. Like, I want you to know how much you are loved and appreciated. And I want my guests to join in with me. So y'all get the heart, the flower emojis, and everything ready. This right here is for you, bro. It's called the Appreciation Song.
We appreciate you.
Let's go. Hey. Flower emojis.
We appreciate you. Yes, we do.
Hey.
We appreciate you.
Hey.
Love and appreciate you.
It's giving you flowers.
Yes, we do. We appreciate you. Love and appreciate you. Yes, we do.
Yo, man. Pastor Warryn, producer Warryn, songwriter Warryn Campbell. Man, you have contributed contributed so much to music, and we don't want you to feel like you are not noticed. We want you to know that we notice, we're listening, we're watching. We appreciate you, man. We love you, and we thank God for you. Be encouraged. If you ever have days of discouragement, please be encouraged and know that this group of people right here, we got you, and we support you.
Man, you have no idea. I appreciate that, my brother. Thank you for having me on. And just, you know, I always enjoy things like this. You know, I don't talk like this bunch, but man, this is refreshing. Thank you. I appreciate it.
That's what's up, man. And I got one more thing. Y'all ready? We got one more thing. This right here is called the curveball. If y'all want to see the curveball, put hashtag curveball in the comments. If y'all want him to get the curveball, put hashtag curveball in the comments. Let's go. This was so good, man. I appreciate you for coming on so much, man.
Hey, man. Listen, I have so much respect for people that do what you do. And, you know, I know it ain't easy. I watched my man Tank and Jay Valentine start their show just like this on Instagram, and you see where they are now.
Yo,
I did it then. They have me back on the show. Just remember, when you get to the bigger, even the bigger platform, have me back.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right.
They put a curveball in the comments. All right. Here we go. Here we go. This is the segment we call Curveball, where I throw a question at you that you didn't have an idea was coming.
Okay.
But I want to see if you can knock this out the park. So, Warryn, I'm going to give you the task. You have to swap out Erica and Tina of the Marys and replace them with 2 members of the Soul Seekers. Who is it? Let's go.
Oh my God.
Who is it? Who is about to be the next dynamic duo?
And not myself included.
You, well, I mean, you could be one of them, but you gotta be 2 members.
I gotta be one of them, because I gotta be one of them for sure. And typically, you would probably think it would be my brother Teddy, but I would say it would be Jubu.
Woo!
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Because what Erica and Tina is vocally, I think me and Jubu are on bass and guitar.
Yes! Oh my God! Y'all heard it here. Only on Estee's Power to Pin. The next dynamic duo is about to be Warryn and Jubu. Yo, y'all gotta do a record.
Oh man, and listen, we got hundreds of them already.
What's going on with the Soul Seekers, man? Are y'all coming back?
We're working on an album even now. We took a long hiatus. My brother Teddy had left the group for a while, and we replaced him with a new lead singer named John Terrace Tate.
Okay.
Who's like a monster.
Yeah.
But then in the interim of all they're working on that album, Teddy is now back in the group.
Come on, Teddy.
So now we got 2 lead singers. We got Tate and Teddy, and it's a problem. It is. It's amazing. It's really good.
We wait.
We
are patiently waiting. We want to hear the music. We want to hear Soul Seekers.
It's on the way.
If y'all, once again, if y'all want to know people's in your corner, it's us. It's us. We are waiting.
It's on the way.
That's what's up, man. Yo, Pastor Warryn, producer Warryn. Yo, I keep saying Pastor because I want your congregation, I want California Worship Center to know that I do respect you and I do respect your position. You know,
appreciate that.
I appreciate you so much for coming on here today. This was a dream come true for me to be able to have this conversation with you. And man, this is another episode of Power.
Speak loud from within. Make us sing along with the power of the pen. Say what's on your mind. Speak loud from within. Make us sing along